let's use the Turkish spindle. This is mine. Oh, I grabbed the wrong stick for that one. We're not getting there. We're not there yet. You know what? Let's use the yellow one, okay? Doesn't matter. This one's cleaned up. The other one's not cleaned up yet. I 3D printed these, so I've got a little thing to get off. This is the assembly. Isn't it fun? I designed these because I keep dropping them, and I had a wooden one, and what would happen is I would drop it and the wood would crack, and then I'm like, I've got to glue it while the yarn's on it. So I wanted a plastic one. So we designed these on the printer, and I like it. I like it a lot. It can go this way, or it can go this way. If you want to use it on a support spindle, I prefer it this way. And this is kind of the traditional way of doing it. So your kit is going to come with these 3 pieces. You've got your stick and your 2 arms. One arm is bigger than the other. And there's holes there, and there's a hole there. As you can see, it slips in there. The holes line up. Then you take your stick on the skinny end and slip it in, and that's how you assemble your Turkish spindle. Back that out because we need to get your leader, which is just a piece of string, and you want it to be like about 1.5 feet. This is kind of long, but I just grabbed a piece of string. So you're going to start by taking your leader, and we're going to feed the leader through this just a teensy bit, and it's, you know, not the easiest thing to do. So sometimes I take my stick and I just push it through with the stick. Until it's just out about like this. And now assemble your spindle. With a little bit of your string coming out the bottom, your leader coming out the bottom here. And then it's here. Now you're gonna do a hitch knot at the top, which is to do this. And I'm going to show you like this, but also I'm going to slow down and show you, because this is how you want it to hang on here. Like this, see? Just like this. So this is what that knot looks like. And I'm going to do it one more time to show you, because you're going to do this knot over and over and over again, so you're going to get used to it. So I take my thumb here. Okay, so this is like how it looks facing you, okay? Like this. This is the knot. Then I put my thumb on top, and then you pull this knot over it. And then that is how you do that. So practice that, because you're going to want to do that knot over and over and over again while we do this. And now your spindle should be spinning clockwise. So give it a little twist and see how you feel about it. You're spinning clockwise. Great. That was half of the hard part. Now you're going to take your roving. This is something that I just ordered on Amazon, and it came like this. I'm not pleased about it, but it's what we have. So it's going to come like this, kind of tubular fiber. Sometimes your fiber might not be tubular, but right now it's very compacted. Ugh. So I'm going to take a bit of my fiber like this, and each fiber is going to have a different staple length. Is that how we say it? So we grab a little bit of it like this, and you're going to just kind of pull and see how long that is. Like this. And this is important because you're going to want to keep your hands, what, a little bit more than that distance apart, I believe is the rule. So pre-drafting is when we take a little bit and you pull. You see how far apart my hands are here? More than that staple length. I'm just going to tug a little tiny bit to just sort of pull that apart. And this is a good little practice for drafting, because you're going to do a lot of drafting. So what I'm doing is just gently pulling these fibers to loosen them up from each other. Notice how far apart my hands are. It does take a little force, but go slow, because you can accidentally pull the whole thing apart, and that doesn't matter either. It's okay. So I've just sort of loosened up my fibers. A little bit looser here. Nice. So now I'm gonna just draft out a bit of my fiber like this. And as you see, I am leaving this hand loose and tugging with this one. I like to try to remind myself to keep one hand tugging and the other one loose. So if this one's tight, this one's loose. If this one's loose, this one's tight. So I'm just pulling a little bit of the fiber. And now, while this guy's twisting, what we're gonna do, I'm putting this in my non-dominant hand. I'm putting my fibers in my dominant hand. Maybe I should take off my coat. Grace. Okay. I find this easier to do on my bare arm, but you can totally do it with a sleeve. So what I'm gonna do is just sort of wrap this around my arm. You don't have to do that. I'm just getting it out of the way, because when I'm spinning, I don't want all of this extra to fall into my spin. It will just grab a hold of it. So I've got my little bit that I've pre-drafted here. Let's give it a twist. So you twist, you give it that clockwise spin, and now take your fiber and place it onto just the drafted part. Place it onto your twisted leader. And what it's going to do is when I let go, it's going to pull that twist up into, look, it's twisting on itself. It's going to pull that twist up into the drafted fiber. So let me pull it out. Do you see how it twisted? It twisted into it. I'm going to back you up because I want you to see me doing the park method, which is where I put a twist in it and park it. And then while I'm pinching here, at that point where I stop drafting it, I'm going to pinch hard here. With this hand kind of loose, I'm just going to draft up a little bit more fiber. Then I'm going to pinch up here where I want it to stop making new yarn because I haven't drafted that out. And when I let go, because this is park, when I let go right here with this hand, this one's pinched hard. When I let go and loosen this one, that twist is going to go up to this point. Ready? That twist went up. You see? So that will support the spindle. That drafted fiber will support it. So you can start off by practicing slow. You can do this, and once you get the hang of it, you won't have to park. But a good method is to give it some twist, park it, pinch that spot where you drafted it last, draft a bit more. So this is as much as I'm going to draft there. I'm going to pinch. So I'm pinching both ends like that. Now I'm going to let go with this hand, and that twist is going to go up to this point. Ready? Okay, I'm just going to keep going. So I'm going to back up because this is a lot easier to do when you're standing. I will back up and show you. So I'm going to give it some twist. I'm pinching, draft, pinch. I've got a lot of spin in this. And we're just letting it go to the floor. Keep drafting down until it goes all the way to the floor. And you'll eventually get past your leader. Just keep drafting. Once it's long enough, what you're going to do, this is why we needed that hitch knot. Once you're long enough, I'm pinching it right here. So keep your little pinch right here because you don't want that twist to come running up into these fibers you haven't drafted yet. So keep that pinch right there. What I'm going to do is wrap this yarn that I just made around my fingers. Let me keep this out of the way. So I'm just wrapping that around my fingers. And now I'm back to my hitch knot. So I'm going to release the hitch knot. Just release it. Okay. And now we're going to twist it around the arms. I like to do 2 over, 1 under. So over 2. Let me get it started. I'll start with under 1. Over 2. Under 1. Over 2. Under 1. Over 2. Under 1. And so you just wrap it around. It's just a nice pattern. There's different patterns you can look up once you kind of get the hang of it, or you can do a little bit of a chaos pattern. So leave yourself a little bit here at the top and then do that hitch knot again. So I'm going to park it. I'm going to do that knot right there to secure that, and it should hold. And then I'm going to start giving it some spin again. And then this is how so if this grabs into this, it will just pull those fibers. Do you see how it's pulling the fibers? So that's why I like to, sometimes I'll tuck it into my sleeve to secure it back this way. And you just keep going. Have fun. You'll get the hang of it. Hang out outside, take it with you to the library. Leave yourself enough to twist that back onto the top. What am I making with this? I have some beautiful brown yarn that I've made, and I was thinking that I would weave with red and brown and a little bit of hot pink as well. So I've got some hot pink coming, and I thought that it would be really nice. So you can sit and do this, but it does help to stand, because you can obviously get a lot more yarn before you twist up if you stand. And then once you get a nice ball on here, you'll eventually have a ball about this big all the way around, a big huge ball. I think my first one took me like a month to make. What you'll do to get it off of here, this is a tiny little ball, but the same thing, same concept. You take your stick out, start with the small arm, push it through. You might have to loosen it a little bit because you got that string going through it. Well, this one's really in there. I can see the string. I'm going to pull that string out just a tad. This one here. They fooled me too. I can see it. This is where we get creative as crafters, huh? Give me the string. I might cut it. I'm not going to cut it. I'm just going to push it back through this way. Just a little bit. Maybe that will help. It did not. Push it more? Yes. So you start with the small arm, and then the large arm, and you pull this off. And if we spun more, we would have a nice big ball of yarn. Happy spinning.